Welcome to Catholic Views. I'm your host, Renee Kranz. On today's show, we have the much, much, much better half of Dr. Chris Bergwald. His lovely wife, Jermaine Bergwald, is joining us to talk about the domestic church, basically life as a Catholic family and how they keep their kids holy as best they can. Right?
Amen, sister.
So first we have Dr. Chris Bergwald for some biblical bites with Dr. B.
We'll do this and get it out of the way for my better half.
Your much better half.
So we're in Lent. What Sunday of Lent is this, Renee? Do you remember? Third Sunday of Lent. Do you know what the official name for the third Sunday of Lent is?
No idea.
The third Sunday.
Third Sunday of Lent.
Yeah. Good job, Bill. Bill was all over that one, Renee. Come on.
I'm just going to be quiet and let Bill answer all the questions.
So the gospel reading is from John chapter 2, and it's I think one of the more well-known accounts from the Gospels. Jesus flipping the tables in the temple.
Oh yes. Angry Jesus.
Angry Jesus, making a whip out of cords, driving people out of the money changers and those who are selling, driving them out of the temple. But what I thought we could do is talk a little bit about the temple.
Okay.
So what do you know, if anything, about the temple?
What do
Bill
you know?
or Renee?
He's looking at you.
Come on, Bill.
Nobody? Anything?
No, nothing.
Nothing?
Well, okay, this is where the Holy of Holies is kept.
Yep.
Which would be that's not the Ark at this
So,
point, because
yeah,
the Ark is lost.
So if we go right, but if we go all the way back, so the temple is this temple is like the grandchild, the grandbaby of the tabernacle. So
Right.
Moses what tabernacle? You said right. So what's the tabernacle?
That's what we have at church.
Yeah,
With Jesus in it.
Okay, no, sorry. But the temple that Jesus went to is the grandbaby. So what came after? What's the grandfather of the temple?
The Ark of the Covenant.
Close.
Okay,
Yep.
Bill?
So, so the tabernacle. So Moses at Mount Sinai receives from the Lord. Yes, we know the 10 Commandments, but actually most of what Moses received from God was a detailed instruction on how to build this tabernacle and the Holy of Holies. The holy place and the Holy of Holies within it. So the tabernacle itself was actually basically a large
room.
tent.
Yeah, okay.
And within it, you have an inner structure called the Holy of Holies. And within the Holy of Holies, you have the holy place. And it's in the holy place where the Ark of the Covenant would go. So when the Israelites, they're traveling throughout the wilderness for the 40 years because they didn't trust God. So they
kept making golden calves.
Right. They carry basically they would set up camp, if you will, and erect the tabernacle with all the different things within it. And you've got the menorah, the golden lampstand,
right?
And all these different vessels, liturgical vessels, and so on. So you have that. Now, fast forward a few centuries, and you get to David. And David, at one point, when he sort of sits back, and because of God's faithfulness, even though he's been a sinner, he's grown the kingdom into an empire. And now he says, "Why should I live in this great palace when the Lord is dwelling in a tent?"
Yeah.
So he said, "I'm going to build a house for the Lord." And through the prophet Nathan, God says, no, I'll build a house, a dynasty for you, and your son will build a house for me. So it's actually left to Solomon, David's son. Solomon is the one who builds the temple in Jerusalem. A magnificent, like massive structure where the Ark of the Covenant would dwell within the Holy of Holies, and so this great place of worship for the Jews. But fast forward a few centuries, starting with Solomon, and then most of his successors, most of the kings of Israel and the kings of Judea and Israel, when they split, the kingdom splits, most of them are no good. And so what happens? The Babylonians come and they destroy Jerusalem. They destroy the temple. Jeremiah apparently had taken the Ark of the Covenant out of the tabernacle, but we don't know where it
Right.
is. It has not been found in a desert in Egypt somewhere, the chamber of soul, well of souls, or anywhere else.
You mean Harrison Ford didn't
we
find
don't.
that?
No, he's not. Harrison Ford has not found it. Now, after the Babylonian exile, the temple was rebuilt, but not as glorious as it was before.
Okay.
Herod added to it, and that's what Jesus. So sometimes when you're reading, especially in biblical journals or books about the Bible, you hear about the Second Temple era. That's this era. After the Babylonian exile, the temple was rebuilt. That's the second temple. The first was built by Solomon. The second built by the Jews when they returned after the exile. Herod adds to it, and that's where Jesus goes when he's flipping tables in the.
very upset.
He's very upset, and that's the temple of Jesus.
Good stuff, Dr. B. Thanks.
You
Haven't
bet.
said that for a while.